Hey everyone, this is Riven Blade with a preview of this weekend's Saturday Night Dynamite. So 3 more matches have been added to this card to round it out. First, let's talk about the matches we already knew about. So first, there's the big AEW title match between Kenny Omega taking on Jungle Boy. Now, provided that these two guys are on their game, feeling good, feeling healthy, the heat isn't an issue, this could be one of those, hey, is this the best match in Dynamite history kind of matches. So I'm really hoping that these two guys put together something special. Jungle Boy has risen to the occasion every time he's had the chance. So we've seen him against Jericho. We've seen him against MJF a couple times. We saw him have that amazing match against Dax Harwood. So I'm expecting big things here. Despite the build kind of being on the comedic side, I think when that bell rings on Saturday, these guys are going to put together a hell of a match, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next up, we had Hangman Page taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. So Hangman has had 2 really strong matches against Brian Cage, including that hot opener at Double or Nothing, and I expect nothing less when he takes on Powerhouse Hobbs here. I wonder if this is going to lead to anything involving the Dark Order, or whether or not Ricky Starks and or Brian Cage are going to get involved in this as well, or if this is simply just kind of like a blow-off match between Hangman and Powerhouse. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that it's just kind of a clean match because, just if these guys are just left to do what they can do, I think they can put together something really special. Next up, hey, new match added. We have Dante Martin taking on Matt Sydal. So this is a rematch of the main event from AEW Dark episode 92. That was an excellent main event. And I really hope that we get to see Dante bust out his kind of bottom rope springboard into a missile dropkick in this match. And I'll be curious to see if he gets his win back. Sydal won last time with the lightning spiral. Definitely go out of your way to see that match. Again, that's AEW Dark episode 92. They put on a hell of a show in the main event. Check it out. And I would expect this match to potentially start the show. If it's not going to be Hangman and Hobbs, I think Martin and Sydal could be a fun kind of spot fest of a match to start things off. Next up, so we got the women's match of the week. We got Kris Statlander taking on the Bunny. Statlander is 8-0 since coming back to AEW. She's looking good. She's getting more refined in the ring. Fans still love her. And again, her look is fantastic. The Bunny has been looking really good since coming back as well. Her singles record, her only major loss has been actually against Red Velvet since coming back. And otherwise, she's been getting W's on Dark, on Elevation, and she has looked really strong in the ring. So I'm hoping that we get some kind of good chemistry going between these two competitors and a solid match. What happens in the post-match? Is there going to be a story to this? Again, I really want the women to have more stories, and I hope that this potentially leads to something, just anything, just something. And finally, so this hasn't been announced on Twitter yet, which is why there is no graphic. So I cribbed Ethan Page's Twitter page, and look at this guy. What a true heel, right? So here he is just caping for Papa John's Pizza. Anyway, Ethan Page is going to take on Bear Bronson, this giant slab of beef of a man. And I'm curious about this match because I've always kind of thought that Bear Country were pseudo heels or maybe middle of the road tweeners. So this kind of feels almost like a heel versus heel match to me, especially after Bronson just took on Brian Pillman Jr. On Dark this week. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. I wonder if Darby is going to get involved. We didn't hear from him last week, right? I don't think we did. Anyway, should be interesting to see what happens here. I'm more expecting and more curious to see what happens in the post-match. And just to see what goes on there. All right.